Okay, party people, here we go. Here's some new parts I'm going to be working on here. So we have a fuel valve. I think it's on, off, and reserve. That's good. Got some jets. Got a SHA Delorto SHA 1515C carburetor. Like, I really know what that is, right? Exhaust manifold, gasket. Got some fuel line. Got a good pyramid filter. Got these little short lines in case these are too long, because there's really not that much room in that bike for the carb. So these are the Melosi, little short cable routes. A couple cables if I need them, although I do have a cable on here that might work just as well because they have long ends. You know what I mean here, and the cable could be too long if I take this off. If I take this off, there's a lot of cable there for that little short carburetor. So I'm going to probably try this cable. If not, I can use this cable, and then I've got the shorty end. So I've got about four combinations here, really, if you think about it, because I got one here, 2, 3, and whatever comes on the bottom end of the stock carb. So that's mostly what I got here. These are the little straps that will hold the points cover on, and then I got a cover too for this side. Now this is black cover, and if you look at the stock one, oh, it's over there. It's red over there, but I can always paint that one or get another black one so they match or something like that. But the goal is going to be to yank that fuel valve rather, that long manifold, and that motorized bike carb, pull that off and put all that stuff on there, and hopefully Frenchie will run well after that. Okay, that's it for now. Back with more fun as I actually tear this apart and put it back together. Out. Okay, first thing is I'm using the standard fuel shutoff, not standard, the one that's on here, because I have to take off the variator to get that out of the way, and I'm not going to do that. So if you notice it's angled a little bit uphill, I don't like that because this thing is all gravity fed, but let's see how she goes. That's first thing going on. Okay, so I'm not going to try not drop this. I got the cable in there for the choke. Trust me, it's operated by that lever, and I got the cable for the throttle through here, and it goes into the slide, and I had to grind down the knurl, is that what that is, to be able to get it to fit in there in the slide, because the slide is kind of wonky. And then this dude for the throttle cable up by the handlebars, I had to cut a notch in it so I can get the throttle through there. Trust me, I've been doing a little bit of fiddling to get this thing finessed. Not the bike's fault, just trying to make incongruent parts congruent. Okay, so let me show you a couple things here. So I've got the choke, right? And if I move the choke, you can see the choke, right? And I've got the throttle. Man, did I have to do some jimmy rigging on this thing to get it to work. Took out some parts and cut some parts and things like that. And let's see if I can see the throttle move. See it? Let's see. You can see it. You can see here. Okay. So I got the throttle hooked up. I didn't want it to go wide open, so it feels pretty good. I also got the decompression lever. I adjusted that. So man, this stuff, some of it's kind of the way the bike is, but I'm just trying to get all these parts to fit. And then let me go back over here again. And I did use the stock ones because I wanted to use the shorty Melosi ones, but the cable, the NARP, I keep calling it a NARL or a Carl, I don't know who the hell Carl is, wouldn't fit through there, through that sharp bend. But these cables are already in one piece, and then manifold is on there. Good. So actually the carb went on real easy. Carb itself to the manifold, no big deal. Let's get these cables right. So actually, if you look at the cables, they run at right angles. I'll show you in a minute what I'm talking about. Let me pause this real quick. What I'm saying is, I wanted to put on the little Melosi short guys because I needed clearance. So what I had to do is I had to run these at right angles, both the throttle and the choke. They're right angles. They're sticking out, not parallel to the bike, perpendicular. So I'm going to have to watch my bends, and the cables are going to run at funny angles. But you know, this is what it's taken to get all these cables lined up. Right? If you look at it right now, they're all bowed out. So I'm going to tie them, zip tie them. They're supposed to run through here on both sides, but they're just not going to do it. And I'm going to have to just be careful with that angle, so that if I don't put too sharp of an angle, it won't pull. So I want to be careful that way I don't have choke problems or throttle problems. But getting there. Next thing, and the carb's on itself. Now I got to put on some gas line, maybe change the spark plug, and see how she goes. More in a bit. Okay, where are we at now? So saw the carb in. That little black plastic is the air filter. There's just a little metal screen in there. It looks like a just mesh, like a cheese grater or something like that. I put on the fuel line and the filter. Don't like the way that this is uphill. You know, sometimes I have problems getting gas to these scooters and things like that when they're gravity fed, because it's not just a straight line coming down. I'm trying to put a filter though, because this is a metal gas tank and I don't want any debris clogging up the engine. Gas tank looked pretty good, but you know, it's a 44-year-old bike. This scooter, excuse me, that moped and that scooter over there, said those have plastic gas tanks, so that's not that much of an issue. Anyway, so the carb is on, the line is on. I changed the spark plug, which is no easy feat because it's tight in there. But one thing about this engine, I don't know if you can tell, but it flexes. You know, the variator flexes, so the engine flexes on these mounts here. And so I just push that down a little bit, push it down a little bit, so I can get clearance in there to get a plug wrench in there. Next thing is to put some gas, see if we have any gas leaks, and take this around back where it won't bother the neighbors, and try and start her up. See what we get. Okay, I couldn't tape myself. Oh, okay. Here she is. Let's see. First start, that was very, very easy. I mean, the pedaling, I barely pedaled it. I could probably pedal it like a motorized bike and pop it. I didn't even use the decompression. I probably could if I'm pedaling it. I used a little bit of choke, you know, and then let it go when it started. And what else didn't I do? Oh, to stop it, I used the decompression. It didn't work originally when I first started last weekend. Because I hadn't adjusted it, it really wasn't engaged very well. And I used the kill switch, and I heard the best description of this kill switch, and it said it sounded like a wounded mallard duck. So anyway, I'm gonna probably strap on a helmet, take her for a ride, see how Frenchie does. Right on, here we go, about 8 minutes of start to finish on this thing. Out.